Hello, and welcome back to another episode of South Bay Buzz, the podcast. I am your host, Megan Libri, and today is extra special. It is my birthday, and I am very thankful for another trip around the sun. I think back on this past year, and it has been so transformative. And today is a celebration of all that has transpired, not only in this past year, but really the past, my whole professional life, I feel like has been leading to this moment. It's been a really big year for me. And I'm going to share a little bit about that today. But first, if you have been following on Instagram, both on the podcast Instagram at South Bay Buzz and then on my main account at the South Bay Buzz, you saw that this week I launched my refreshed, big, brand new South Bay Buzz website, southbaybuzz.com. And honestly, I cannot think of a better way to celebrate my birthday than with finally pushing publish on the website. Today, I want to reflect on the story behind South Bay Buzz and also why a website and where I'm going. For 5 years, South Bay Buzz has been a passion project. It was born in the pandemic at the very beginning as a way to cheer on and uplift friends and local businesses when they needed it most. It really started on social media and has been primarily there, but I also had made a website years ago. But then I got pregnant with twins and life happened and I couldn't keep up with it. And so that went aside. And I always had the dream about the podcast and everything. But no matter what the method of communicating, I always wanted South Bay Buzz to be a place for connection, for community pride, and for celebrating the people and stories that make the South Bay uniquely ours. This past year has been transformative. South Bay Buzz has been the thing that really lights me up. And I thought about, okay, if I'm going to continue on with South Bay Buzz, what does that look like? And how can I sustain it? And how can I continue to give the most I can to our local businesses? And after a lot of reflection and talking to mentors and friends and local businesses, I made the decision to treat this not just as a project, but to take the leap and make it a business itself. I tell people all the time, influencer doesn't feel quite right. PR agency feels way too formal. Going through the brand strategy and brand design with Joe Delgado from Creative Inka was so helpful to help me really hone in. I am a storyteller, I'm a creator, and now I'm a podcast host. And that feels the most authentic and true to me. So the website is the next chapter. It's a home for stories, resources, and inspiration that's going to continue to uplift our neighbors and help small businesses thrive. And I'll get into that a little bit more. Before we go much further, I do want to share that as a heads up, this season of the podcast is going to be audio only. One thing about me is when I have a vision, I will go for it. And sometimes I have to learn the hard way. My friends at Orange Door Spaces, Justin and Eliza, have been so incredibly helpful and supportive of me. Oh my gosh. But I have been doing it all myself, editing the video, the sound, Justin helping me with figuring out lighting and all of it. But I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I'm a friend, I'm a daughter. I have a full-time job, and it was just I was up way too many late nights. Not in a place where I can afford to bring in somebody else to edit and stuff, so but I do love editing audio, I can do that. One day, I will bring it back, and I'll use some clips for social media, but for now, I need to meet the moment. It took a long time for me to acknowledge that, but I'm gonna do audio, and that is gonna be what's best to keep South Bay Buzz moving forward in a way that feels sustainable. And I wouldn't be here in this moment without the support of so many people, but I really did wanna just take a moment to pause and thank a few. You've heard me talk about her before. She's on the podcast. I want to shout out Joe Delgado of the Creative Inka. Joe, you really took the values and mission and vision of South Bay Buzz and put together the most iconic brand illustrations, logo, all of those things. But as you know, the most important thing is you gave me confidence, you gave me the vocabulary and the vision that I've always known in my heart, but it really working with you gave me just the confidence to go out there and really tell folks what South Bay Buzz is all about. So thank you for everything. And all of the assets that are now living on the website are from you. If you're interested in learning more about Joe, her website is thecreativeinka.com, and you can also follow her on Instagram at thecreativeinka. Next, I want to shout out Sabrina Cohen. Sabrina is amazing. She is a storyteller, she's a creative, a UX strategist, and a children's author. Sabrina helped me when I was really at a place where I was having some big time writer's block, design block. I kept looking at the template for Squarespace and I was like, why can't I do this? I work in websites every single day. And I was having such trouble and was telling her about that. And Sabrina really, really took all of my ideas and came up with some great thoughts and ideas herself, and really built the website and the strategy for it. She did an amazing job, and I'm so thankful for her. So thank you, Sabrina. It is so beautiful. And honestly, I would have been either A, stuck just staring at the screen forever, or B, editing forever without your help. And stay tuned because Sabrina is going to be sharing more with me on the podcast this fall. But you can go visit her website at sabrinacohen.co. And you can also follow her on Instagram. It is underscore Sabrina Cohen. All right. Next up, I want to shout out two beautiful and wonderful photographers. The first is the lovely CorRi Vaughn of Lenn M Photography. CorRi has been on the South Bay Buzz podcast before. She is amazing. So any of the photos that you see that are on my page that I'm outside and posed or walking that look like professional photography, that is from my amazing CorRi. She always makes me feel comfortable and confident. And I love the way that they turned out. They look so lovely and complimentary on the website. So thank you, CorRi. You can follow CorRi on Instagram, and her handle is at Lenn. It's LENN underscore M period underscore photography. And she actually has mini sessions available. So you want to jump on that immediately. And if you're interested in her event photography, you can follow her at Lenn M Event Photography. Next, for my podcast album cover that you see, or any of the posed photos that are in the Orange Door Spaces like studio, those were taken by the lovely Michelle Marie of Michelle Marie Photography. Michelle is not only a talented photographer, but she is an insanely talented massage therapist. If you want the most bubbly human on the planet, she is your girl. Or if you're really in need of a great massage, she is amazing. And her handle is at Michelle, Michelle underscore Marie, Marie photography. And you can follow her there. And then also, if you're interested in booking her, her website is photosbymichelleMarie.com. And there's information there for both her massage therapy and for her photography. I really have to tell this story because it's also a lesson for any and all entrepreneurs. So here's the deal. I had the domain southbaybuzz.com for a couple years. And I got pregnant with my baby boys, my twins, had them, and then was like, I cannot keep up with my website. I don't even know what South Bay Buzz is going to become. I don't want to keep paying for this, blah, blah, blah. And so what did I do? Like a silly fool, I let go of the domain name and just like didn't think anything about it. Time marches on, and it was probably around this time last year, I thought about bringing back the website. And I thought in my brain, well, nobody will have touched it, right? Like, there's not really another South Bay Buzz out there. And so I go to look it up, and oh no, somebody had grabbed it, and the website at the time was collecting email addresses, and I admittedly felt a little upset because I was like, "Oh gosh, I hope people don't think that I'm, like, sitting on here collecting email addresses and then not doing anything." I kept my eye on it and just thought like, "Okay, well, maybe they're getting ready to launch a website and, you know, let's just see what happens." I wanna say in May, I went to go check on it again to see if anything had happened, and when I put in southbaybuzz.com, I noticed that the domain name forwarded to listenupbeaches.com. And I clicked on it and I'm like, okay, this website is in the South Bay of Los Angeles, so that's good. And it looks like their new website name is Listen Up Beaches. Looks like they were doing again event information about the South Bay, writing articles about the South Bay. Like, this is awesome, amazing. I'm gonna try to find out if they have an Instagram and reach out to them and just like share. I've been around for 5 years and would love to talk about possibly getting the domain name back. I found out that there's this gentleman named Marcus who was running the Instagram and the website, reached out to him, and we were able to talk on the phone. Marcus could not have been nicer. I was, again, I very much knew like he's absolutely in the right to have this domain name. It's my fault for letting it go. And he could just not have been nicer and more understanding and really was, I am not trying to step on your toes. I didn't know your handle. He graciously transferred the domain name back to me. And so if you're not following him, please follow Marcus at Listen Up Beaches, like BEACHES.com. And you can also find that on Instagram. Planning on going and buying him lunch and talking social media things. So again, Marcus, thank you so much. Thank you to my friends. You know who you are, and I'm exceptionally just so thankful for you and the way that you cheer me on near and far. Thank you so much for believing me and encouraging me. It means more than you know. And I also want to say a massive thank you to my husband, Ryan. He has done so much. Like, he has really stepped up and really been a massive support in helping make these dreams happen. So, thank you, Ryan, so much. I love you, and I'm exceptionally thankful for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And then, of course, we wouldn't be here without the people, the places, and the events of the South Bay of Los Angeles. For all of those of you who have shared your stories with me, who have opened your heart and trusted me to be a platform, to be a person that shares your story, thank you so much. And this milestone of 5 years really belongs to all of us. So, why the website? Why is it necessary? Why do I need it? For me, I love social media and I love creating on social media, and I always will, 100%. And I think one of the best parts about South Bay Buzz has been the amount of fantastic conversations that I have with people. And it's so impossible to capture that in a reel. And so the website is really my way of expanding and weaving stories into the fabric of our community and just getting to do longer form writing, video, and having material that is evergreen, that isn't so fleeting. That's really important to me. And I know that it helps businesses so much. Southbaybuzz.com is where you'll find business spotlights, founder stories, local event highlights, and podcast episodes. There is information about services and things that we can do together. Or if you are someone who just lives in the South Bay and you want to know more information about our incredible area, that there's ways to navigate from there. As of right now, I'm doing still my social media. I'm doing reels, carousel posts, podcast sponsorships are an option. In case you're wondering with the podcast, to be a guest is an invitation from me. And right now I do have a wonderful list lined up for the next little bit. I've met so many incredible people over the years, and I'm excited to share more of their stories. And but there is opportunity to be a podcast sponsor, and I'm excited to do blog posts. I would love for you to check out southbaybuzz.com. Tell a friend, keep building this community with me. Join our mailing list. That will be amazing. I promise not to spam you because I get way too many emails myself as well. If you know someone who is doing really wonderful things, if you have a favorite restaurant or and know the founder and has a great story. If you yourself have a great story, like please let me know. I really believe that the more we hear each other's stories, realize how connected we all are, we just go so fast in our day to day. But these human centered stories just remind us that like we are all more alike than we are different. So thank you for being here, for listening, and for being such an essential part of what makes the South Bay so special. Cheers to the rest of 2025, to my 38th year around the sun, a new year of life ahead, and a brand new chapter for South Bay Buzz. Thank you, as always, for being a part of the movement to shop small and support local.